Earlier in this week of the course, we briefly touched on a method for collecting language attitudes called the implicit association test. If you recall, that method tests for automatic or instinctive associations between a category, such as an accent group, and positive or negative traits, such as being friendly or rude. Another more recent method used to investigate attitudes of this kind is known as the social category association test, or the SCAT. The SCAT is an adaptation of the implicit association test, which looks at the degree to which members of a speech community share an association between a particular pronunciation, such as pronouncing the R sound in the word car, and a social category such as Scotland. It also tests the speed with which the association is made by the person taking the test. If there's a high level of community agreement on the association of a pronunciation with the social category of interest, we can be confident that the particular pronunciation does carry that social meaning. Fast response times also tell us about the strength of the association. And we can look at a variety of pronunciation features in this way and build up a picture of which features are more or less salient to the members of the speech community in terms of the social meaning they carry. Later in week 3, we'll take a closer look at a research project based at the University of York called the Accent and Identity on the Scottish English Border Project, or ICEB. Here, the SCAT was developed and used to see whether people living in areas along the Scottish English border associated certain sounds with Scotland or England. For example, Scottish is often associated with what we call rhoticity, the R sound, found at the end of words like car or farm, as opposed to more English pronunciations like car or farm. What we found was that there was more agreement among participants on the association of not pronouncing R with being English than of pronouncing R with being Scottish. So what does this finding tell us? Well, it seems to back up the previous research in this area. But what we can now say is not only are there differences in how stable or not rhoticity is in different speech communities along the Scottish English border, but also that the perception of an association with the sound and the social category of Scotland is different too, and mirrors the patterns in speech. By using the SCAT, it was possible to see the levels of community agreement on this association, which we can then tie to what people actually produce in speech.